I just finished writing out the melody and this idea for an accompaniment, and let's see what it sounds like. I actually don't really like the rhythm. It's too dirge-like. The harmony's too dirge-like. The rhythm doesn't quite complement it how I want it to. I think I want the rhythm to be a little more percussive and bring out the rhythm in the melody. So let's try something else. Okay, so at this point, I have really changed the left hand ostinato from what I had in the beginning of just the dotted quarters followed by the beat 7. I've also changed the harmony a little bit, but let's check this out. The first thing I really want to get into is this rhythmic ostinato in the left hand. How did I come up with that arrangement? So when I wrote out this rhythm initially, I realized I wasn't actually thinking in 7/4, I was thinking in 4/4 time, and I was just trying to write out what I heard. So I just started with the Charleston rhythm, the 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So after I heard the Charleston, I heard this other rhythm coming in on beat 4. And if you take a look at it, you'll notice it actually follows a dotted quarter rhythm, right? So this pattern follows the dotted quarter note. It resolves on beat 3. So even this little bit right here could be repeated. So this is kind of what I was hearing in 4/4. This 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And all I did to change it from that basic rhythm is I added a 4 and then I added a 3, 4, 2 quarter notes. Okay, so that's one way to look at this rhythm here. And then I just took this part right here and put it right here. Then this cell is actually the same as this cell and is actually the same as this cell. So it's an eighth note followed by a quarter note followed by an eighth note. All I did was I just displaced it by a beat. So where this eighth note followed by a quarter note followed by an eighth note starts on beat 4 here, I just started it on beat 1. Now if we copy and paste that same rhythm from 4/4 into 7/4, this is what we get. And then we just get these extra 2 beats right here, because notice how in 7/4, 7 plus 7 is 14, and 4 times 4 measures of 4 is 16. All I basically did is chopped off the extra 2 beats. And then what I did to make it fit nicely into 7/4, really simple. All I did was I added anticipation on the end of 7, and that'll sound like this. Ba 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 ba. Bum 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 bum. So basically all I did was I took this exact pattern that I took from 4/4 and adapted to 7, and I just plopped it underneath the melody, and it seemed to work. So one of the big points about this melody is I love this resolution to C. All these C's, right? Right? All these C's. And that's kind of, oh, and then there's a B flat, right? Where you'd expect a C. And back to C, ba 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 ba, C, C. Okay? So those are kind of the big points. Now, I don't always get them perfect, but notice in this first measure I hit this one. And then this one kind of cadences a little bit, but the left hand's off beat with it, right? But it does, let's listen to this part. Now, so it doesn't really cadence here. I wanted more forward motion. But here, notice with the B flat, these the left hand and the right hand line up. Also notice here on beat 4, the left hand and the right hand line up. Also notice here, okay, especially here, there's a short and then there's 2 eighth note rests in the left and the right hand before we get back to here. So there's about 1, 2, 3 spots where it lines up before we get to the beginning again. And maybe 4 even, right, if we consider this too. So, but the rest of it, the left hand's offbeat. Now, let's listen again for where that right and left hand line up. So there's enough key points where it does line up that it still feels like it has continuity, but there's a lot of forward motion. All right, so here's what I came up with. You'll notice it's a pattern, kind of. And we're going to try to see if we can use this pattern right here in some of this. So basically, to break it down for you, the main interval here, though, is up a major third, down a minor second, up a major third, and then down a minor second. And then we're going to go down a major third, up a minor third, down a major third, down a minor second. So right here, I'm just sort of adjusting the pattern so I can get it to end how I want it to end. So I kind of start the pattern up here, and then I kind of do some shifting to get it to end on that C minor like I want it to, but still have it sound really crazy. So this is what it sounds like. Kind of crazy. So let's see if we can get some of that going in here. See if we like how that sounds. Maybe this needs to stay as a C minor to kind of establish things more. Okay, let's just try that. And then shorter on these kind of half-step approaches. Let's see how that sounds. Let's make this F. What's wrong with this? That's part of the problem. These weren't A flats. Let's listen again. I don't really like what's going on here. I kind of hear this pattern right here kind of repeating over here. So see if we can do that. Let's see if that does work. Or we might have to move this whole bass line down an octave. So let's do that. This is getting too high. And it'll sound cool actually if we put it lower. Yeah, let's see what that sounds good.